So welcome back to Leicester Fan TV. Massive game, really. Massive game against Wolves at home. Arguably one of the biggest games of our season and probably one of the, biggest opportunities to go and get 3 points when we need it most to really push a team like Wolves back down into that bottom three and hopefully not give them any chance of climbing back out of it. What do you make to the game, really? Big one coming up.
We've just spoke about it and we were saying about this on paper. It's probably one of the easiest games of the season. I would disagree. I think in the position of where both teams are, both teams it's a definite must win. You can't even not lose it. You've got to win it. As you can see, the form stats on the right hand side, Wolves have lost the last 4 games. As there is one there that says lost, but it is a win. And then on ours, we have had 1 win and 1 draw in the last 5, but it's not been great, has it? I'm writing off Newcastle. I'm looking at it from the West Ham game onwards, but now it is a big game. Wolves have 2 players missing, hopefully from their issues after the game against Ipswich. So hopefully there's every news that says that we can beat them. But I think the one big issue which we're going to go straight into is who's in goal, because of now we don't know what the press conference is saying. We will know in the next few hours, but I think if you had the choice of if Mads wasn't in, who would you put in? And he would be in if he was fit. So let's get straight into the teams, I guess, then, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go on the premise of that Hermanson isn't fit, at least for now. Like I say, we're doing a bit early before press conference, so we can't read minds. So if Hermanson is fit, he's in the team, but if not, I'm going to put Stolicic in there. I don't think there's anything wrong with Danny Ward, but I think we know the lack of game time he has played, and the season we did get relegated.
You're going to make me try and spell his name, aren't you?
Yeah. So, again, I don't really know what to say about Danny Ward. I didn't think he did anything much wrong against Newcastle. I felt like we just completely capitulated as a team. So it's hard to judge him, but I will put Stolicic in there because I think when we saw a few cameo appearances from him last year, he did well. He played quite decently in those games. So, he'll go into my team.
Yeah, fair enough. Going into my team then. If thinking about how we came out of the team against Newcastle, Mads Hermanson, I don't think he will start, if I'm totally honest. I don't think he's going to be fit enough to start. I hope he is, but he's not, I don't think. So I'm going to put the same man in. I'm not trusting Danny Ward in that goal. I'm sorry. As much as you were right, you don't think he did too much wrong at all against Newcastle. I just don't have the trust in him. I don't have the trust in him.
All the players had a very poor game against Newcastle. So, again,
I just don't have the trust in Danny Ward.
I've seen some comments about, Danny Ward. Obviously, he'd be the scapegoat for why we lost 4-0, but he really wasn't. So there was a team effort there losing 4-0. So the guys did really well to manage to lose 4-0. I'm hoping that it's all a massive 180 because it needs to be.
Yeah, Mike there says I'd take half fit Jacob if Matt isn't fit.
Again, that's another thing. He did play in the under-21s in the week. That is another conversation that he is coming back from an injury as well. So obviously we know that situation we're in with injuries. Seagrave, obviously the graveyard for injuries, isn't it?
Seagraveyard, yeah.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where we just keep catching injuries, and we'll move on into the defence now, really, because I think goalies, it's a very interesting situation, but we really don't know who is fit and who's not. It very much likely could be Danny Ward again.
Well, yeah, like I said, normally it's a straight in name, isn't it, for that goalkeeping spot? But at least we have a bit of a choice now, hopefully. Well, not hopefully, because we want Mads in, but let's see. Nigel here also says that Jacob should be first choice. If Mads is out, yes. Not with Mads in, though. Go on then, Sam. Your defence.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
There ain't much I can change from what we've got. Chowdhury's he started against Newcastle. He really didn't have that good of a game. Obviously, we've called for him in the past few games. With the injuries, maybe let's have that passion from a young Leicester lad. And again, can you judge it up on game? I'm going to say yeah, because I think watching the Newcastle game really showed me that we need a massive U-turn and we need some of those key players back, really, in the midfield. I'm going to start again. It's going to have to be Justin and Christensen, left back, right back. We don't really have a choice. There isn't anyone else really that's suitable for those roles at the moment. I'm not saying my number one choice, but unless anyone can say in the comments who else would play, or whoever you'd say, really. But I think whoever you're going to pick, if it is someone different, is going to be an argument as to why it shouldn't be that player.
Fair enough. Terence here does say that he'd rather have Dawn in goal than Danny Ward. I know who Dawn is, don't worry. I'm struggling because after the Newcastle game, I know a lot of players had bad performances, but everyone, every single week against us seems to target that one side. So I'm going to stick Christensen back in. But on the other side, I don't know his name, so I'm just going to put someone random in. But it's the under-21s man who Rude calls Little JJ. I don't know who it is. I'm gonna put Bobby. Let's see what is it? Sorry, no, it's not him. It's not him. I'll just put this Burns guy in, just because that's the under-21s guy I'm going to put in. I think if JJ's not playing well at all, I think we need to have a bit of a refresh in that team. I don't see what the under-21 man can do differently. Wrong. I think he can just be as good as JJ at the moment. So I'm putting him in. I know it's not maybe the best call, but
I think it's the wrong game, personally. I think against...
Maybe so, but I just... We need to have a bit more solidity in the team, and I think JJ alone, for me, just does not give us that.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I think it's too big of a game to risk someone that's youthful. Again, we're in a position where Pereira out injured. Where do we go from there? It's tough. Like I say, Justin's obviously confidence is low because we know he can be a good player when he came in from Luton.
Yeah,
and on the fringes of England, he was definitely one of the players to watch. But stuff happens, doesn't it? Capitulate a little bit. I'm going to stick with that as my back line, and I guess I'll move into my centre backs.
Yep.
I'm going to put Cody back in there again. I think if you're going to have someone, you're going to need again that captain. Formerly against Wolves as well, obviously. Long time at Wolves. Will he want to show up there? Let's hope so. Because he's virtually our captain now. He used to be Wolves captain. So Cody, I think, needs to turn up and do a solid job. Can we trust any of the other defenders? Who knows? I'm trying to think in their back line. Obviously, they're missing their main striker. Is it Kuna? I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's out with a few match game suspension after bad attitude issues in the past game, I think. So I don't know how strong they are in attack. Again, like I said, I don't know much about Wolves other than a few players.
I think they've lost the last couple of years. They've lost some of their best talent in the attacking roles.
Some have just gone. They've obviously sold
Diego Jota, Neves.
Have they not replaced them?
No, not really.
Well. Who was their keeper? Well, he's gone.
João
something, but he's not.
João Jimenez as well at striker. He's gone to Fulham now. And their keeper was Neto.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, they're a good keeper who's not there.
Patricio, that was it.
They've lost a lot of good players. So in defence,
probably a big reason why they are down there.
Yeah, they've obviously not replaced. They've took a lot of money in and not really signed anyone. I don't know. I think it's put the three names in a hat and pick them out. I'm going to put a Coley in there. I should try. I think Vestergaard was a bit slow against Newcastle, and sometimes you need to change things around. Like I said, we're 15 games deep, and I'm not convinced. And I'm looking forward to that January 1st when we can get in that transfer and sign some bloody decent players for the rest of the season.
Yeah, fair enough. I think this is one of the first tactics talks shows Sam that we've done that really is going to be a very different squad to each other. Because like I say, we had a kind of a settled 11 in for a few weeks, but now with injuries and different changes, I think there's going to be quite a few different players in. My first one's going to be Vestergaard. I'd rather him than Cody. I'm sorry. Vestergaard for me is that kind of solid player who can pass the ball out from the back. I'm totally honest. Cody, yes, don't get me wrong, he's done well, but I don't think I want him to play against his old club. I don't know. I think there's something going to be there where I don't think he's going to be fully interested in just being the Leicester player instead of playing against his old club. In my eyes, it might be nothing, but For me, it's not there. And then the only other player I'm picking, I'm not picking FaZe. I'm picking Okoli, like the same as you. So yeah, I don't think Okoli's really had that bad many games. To be totally honest,
I think he's had rubbish games, mate. I've not.
I don't think
I've
he's
seen
been
him play.
awful.
Yeah,
I think
he has. He has been abysmal at times. They
Surely-
all have. They all have.
it's just hard to pick them four. That's all. I've not had the best games.
You're stretching your words there. They've all been bad. You know, the whole
Who
team
would you
has
say?
been bad.
You'll probably say Cody, but who would you say has been the best defender this season out of the four?
None of them.
I'd say Vestergaard out of the four.
I'd say none of them. I don't think any of them have had a good season, and definitely not Vestergaard.
Fair
I
enough.
wouldn't pick from any of them. I
But
think
if you
they're
had to pick one of the four to be at the best defender out of the four,
out of the four. You put me on the spot. I don't know. Maybe probably would be either Cody or FaZe, I guess.
Cody's only played like 2 games.
Yeah, but you put me on the spot. I literally said none of them. So
Fair
what do you
enough.
want me to
Fair
say?
enough. Fair enough.
I've said
fair
none
enough.
of them.
Right, let's move into the midfield then, Sam. So things that we do know of is Sumare's back after being suspended, and Didi seems to be out as of now. He could be fit, but I very much doubt it. Winks is or should be back for Sunday. Other than that, you've got a free reign of midfielders. What are you going for?
Yeah. Again, midfield, they've all had hit and miss games. Samari, if he'll probably put him back into the team because he's had a decent past few games under Rude. You know, so but he has looked good with his counterpart with Ndidi there, and obviously with Ndidi's probably more than likely not going to start. It's going to be will Samari work? Skip definitely didn't have a good game against Newcastle. Obviously, I've been calling for him the past few weeks. Why has he not been starting a bit more? And then he does what he did against Newcastle, which, you know, like I say, it wasn't just him, it was every single player on that pitch. Was rubbish. Winks, I'll put Winks in. If he's fit, he goes into my team because I think, again, you need that leader role and someone who can control the ball a bit better in that midfielder. And against Wolves, we should be more attacking minded, I guess, so to speak, if we want to go out there and get the 3 points. So
Torrance here says Sumari and Skip for him. Hammer's made him look bad. Made Skip look bad. For me, I as much as I don't think Skip's that bad of a player, because obviously, and I want to play him because we did spend a lot of money on him. But when you've got Winks fit, I think when indeed he's not fit, you play him. I think there's no doubt about it. Like Winks should be playing, but because of how well Sumari and Ndidi have played together, I don't think there's any question how Winks can get in that team.
Yeah, well, like I say, it's going to flip flop all season long. I think Samari and Ndidi have had a good couple games. In the under Rude, West Ham and Brighton, they were both good players. But give it until I say 5 games down the line, it'd probably be a complete U-haul because that's just how we're playing this season, isn't it? No one could be consistent enough to make it into the team. But we've agreed on the 2 midfielders.
There's easily the best 2 midfielders you probably put out there. For me, as much as you know how much I do rate Sumari and question why when I've done the last couple of years, but since he's been in the team with Ndidi and since he's been even with Cooper, I'll give Cooper some credit. He's actually got Sumari out of his shell and actually playing quite well. So I'm glad he's come back. I'm glad he's done well. And
I wouldn't overrate it. He's done all right.
No, I think
the few games he's played.
I think every game he's played, he's not done less than a 7 out of 10.
Okay, well, I disagree, but okay, because against Man United, I saw him do back all, and they got.
But I still think he was our best player on the pitch. So.
Okay, we'll move on to the strike force.
Let's move
I'm
on.
not getting into this.
Let's move on. Let's move on from
Hey,
your Tory of the team.
It's like talking to a brick wall.
You're Tory in the team, mate. That's what he is. Go on then, Sam. Pick your 3 attacking midfielders.
Yeah, I'm going to probably be a bit different. Buonanotte comes back into my team again. No offense, Rude 3 games in. He was an idiot for dropping Buonanotte against Newcastle. That was a wrong move from him. I don't know why he wasn't in the team with El Canus when we saw El Canus and Buonanotte light up against West Ham. They were both 2 great players that had a great form. So Buonanotte gets back into my team. Not so sure why Rude dropped him for Newcastle. It's a bit of a wrong move.
I would question.
Don't say you can see why.
No, I could. No, I don't. I can't see why, but I question the reason and why he did it. There was obviously a reason why he wanted
Yeah,
two wingers on the wings
yes.
instead of having a creative midfielder on the wing out of position.
Yeah, but then why play El Canuso over Buonanotte when Buonanotte is
Maybe maybe he wanted to save him for the bigger
Either way,
game.
we're never going to know that. That we're never going to know that's a fact. The only fact that we know is Buonanotte knows how to score and he knows how to set up goals. And he got dropped for Newcastle, which is disappointing. So he gets back into my team, really. Buonanotte does. He's got to. For me, he's got to. In this big game situation, he probably is the most creative player we have. We need him in the team.
I'd say debatable.
Over who? You're going to say El Canus is more
creative? I'd say the last couple of...
the guy that scored one goal is more creative.
I'd say collectively.
No way.
I'd say collectively, he's about the same quite level.
No. Again, we're going to move on because it's a pointless conversation. Pick your midfielder, really, because that is, again, it's a bonkers thing to say. If you have to.
I will pick my midfielder, and it's going to be El Canus. El Canus, there we go. Sorted.
Right. Go on, explain why.
Explain why? Because Buonanotte is going on the right. Thank you very much.
There you go.
There we go. Now it's your turn.
Well, I'm going to flip it. I'm going to put El Canus on the right wing for me because that's what happened against West Ham, and that's what looked very.
West Ham. He was on the left, but
yes. Left, right. It'll probably flip flop between the two anyway. That again, we've gone for the same, just reverse. I think Buonanotte is a lot better when he's in the midfielder than the wing, and I said vice versa.
The only reason I didn't put El Canus on the right is because I think I preferred him on the left, but I'm saving that spot for someone else. So
yeah, I already know who you're putting.
Go on.
No, go on. You do it then.
I'll go first.
I'm being different.
I'll go first, and I'm going to go Mabadidi. So I know he's not been great, but out of all the players we've got, he's the most creative. So
okay, well, I disagree. I think most creative versus people that are actually doing something in the game is one to pick. I'm in two minds of who I play. It's definitely not Mabadidi. Again, his performance against Newcastle, he can just sit right on the bench for me.
Luke here says we can't afford to rush wing backs back with his injury record.
Yeah,
wings back. Sorry, yeah, we're rush wings back.
Yeah, I get that. Obviously, don't want to rush in the players, but we're tight with the players that we can and can't play. So I guess if you want to play skip, you could. But
Leicester Down Under says if Ward starts, I'm gonna have a nervous breakdown. Yeah, me too, mate. And then Mark says must win at the weekend. Of course, I agree.
It's a massive game, but we'll see what we can get from it. Left winger. I'm going to be a little bit different. I'm going to put Bobby Reid in there because I've seen him play. When he's come on a cameo subs in the past couple of games, he's looked okay. He's made an actual impact.
I did never think I'd write this man in this team.
Well, he's done more than Mabadidi has, and when IU started, he's not looked as good. But Bobby Reid come on in the last for Brighton and West Ham under Ruud, and he's actually made an impact. He's got a goal and he set up an assist. So, for me, I think he deserves a position at team. I'm surprised he wasn't in it for Newcastle, to be honest with you, especially considering how poor Mabadidi has been.
I think the only thing I'd say with that, which is kind of obviously trying to be weird on my team as well, is the fact of I don't see any pace in that team other than maybe the striker.
But you look at your team. Your team's no different to mine, other than one player.
No, that's why I was saying a bit weirdly about my team about the fact of mine's only got Mabadidi on the wing, who's got the pace. But
he doesn't have the pace though. He's slow as anything. He doesn't track back and he doesn't go forward. He doesn't have pace. Again, I don't know what's with all the Mabadidi love. He's been probably one of the worst players this season for us. So I personally wouldn't start him against Newcastle. He might as well have been stood on the sideline the whole game.
I am very surprised.
It was that good.
I am very surprised you've not put Belcanis on this side. I put your favourite player on the right wing.
Who? Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not my favourite player. Again, you just slander players for no reason. He's actually done something this season, and I give him credit for that. And you just like to slander him.
Go on then. Top.
Vardy, I guess. If he's going to be fit, then he's going to play. You need a big impact player, and that's Vardy. Daka obviously came and did well against West Ham for his goal. Edouard nowhere near the scene. I think you're probably going to agree. No.
I'm not putting him up front, am I? Oh, that would be funny, wouldn't it? Edouard in the team there.
No, get him out of there.
Yeah,
No,
I'll remove him.
It's got. I think it's just got to be Vardy again.
I will say this though, and I've been looking at the fixtures coming up with Liverpool and Man City coming very close to each other and within 3 days of it.
Yeah.
Which one? And this is going to be very, very controversial. Which one would you prefer to rest players and then play players?
Neither. It doesn't matter.
I would honestly rest players against Liverpool and then try and go at it against Man City.
You make the argument that Man City obviously on a poor run of form, but
no, I get that. I'm
Yeah.
just saying within 3 days, I'm sure that we're going to have to rest some. Or instead of playing both Buonanotte and El Canouche, you play one or the other. That's what I'm saying. Like you're going to have to change things up for one team for the other team, for the other game.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Obviously, if you are going to have to rest players, then rest it for Liverpool and then start them against Man City because
and you are
Man
at
City
home as
the
well.
team out of form.
And you are at home.
So yeah, I guess that is the argument to make for that one. Obviously, Man City, but by then, Man City are going to have to play 2 or 3 games, so they could win those and smash the teams, and we could be like, well. Listen, I wouldn't want to play either of those two right now. Obviously, Leicester are the big, I guess you'd say, bogey team over Christmas because we're the one that every neutral likes to watch, apparently. Hence why we're Boxing Day and New Year's. I believe what day are we playing? Man City, 30th, 31st?
29th.
29th, yes.
After the 25th game.
So yeah, it's obviously a quick turnaround. But Liverpool, they're on fire. They're doing very well in the Premier League.
Yeah,
Man City so far are not, but like you say, they're 2 very tough teams. Realistically, we should probably get nil from both of them. So
we'll get a few comments in. Luke here says, if Ward starts, she's staying at the pub. I wish I could do that, but yeah. Phil says, I'm trying to remember if Mavadidi ever outpaced anyone. He's surely a tricky winger, but not pace or skill. I think he's got pace, but he doesn't use it to his best ability.
Damari grade 2.0, mate. That's all.
That's putting Mavadidi down, mate. Don't do that.
I am putting him down.
Don't do
he's
that.
having a rubbish season.
I'd say that Mavadidi is on the level of Harvey Barnes. I'd say he's on the same level as Harvey Barnes in the fact of he's very inconsistent.
Mavadidi?
Barnes for me.
Thanks for watching, guys. We're just going to end the stream right now.
No.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
No.
Alright, go on. Carry on. No,
hey, I'm saying on the level of how inconsistent Barnes was. Maybe last season when the year he went down. But before that,
Barnes scored 15 goals.
Yeah, but I'm saying the year before that where he was very inconsistent. He
still got 15 plus goals.
He didn't ever want to take his man on. We know that. He didn't want to do this or that.
Yeah, but,
I'm saying
but we're moaning about a player when we were in the top 8 trying to fight for European football.
No, I get
But
that.
when we were saying, oh, Barnes, you could be doing better there because we were actually a good team. Now we're a rubbish team.
Okay, fair enough.
And now we're moaning about Mavadidi because he isn't good enough.
Fair enough.
He isn't good enough for the bottom 6. Barnes, we were saying, he needs to improve for the top 8 of the Premier League. It's apples and oranges. There's 2 levels to it. You can't compare Mavadidi.
Which one's better, apples or oranges?
Harvey Barnes is better. Whoever he is out there.
Terence here says that side looks plenty good enough to beat Wolves, but start Daka and bring Vardy in for the last 20 minutes. I wouldn't be opposed to that, but I would rather Daka come on instead of the Vardy.
Vardy's got more goals and assists than a handful of players in the Premier League that play for decent teams. If you look at some of the ones, I think he's got higher goals and assists than players like Salah even. So I wouldn't at all drop.
No, I'm not saying I'd be. I wouldn't say I'd still have Vardy to start.
If Vardy's fit, he starts every game this season. That's just end of.
I'd say I would start Daka against Liverpool if it meant we've got Vardy for the Man City game at home. But
yeah, obviously it's going to be a rest around.
Yes.
3 days in Vardy's age, obviously not allowing him to play.
Big up all. Yeah. Neil here says Vardy will be booked against Wolves so he can have Christmas off. Yeah, one more booking and he gets suspended. So I'm guessing maybe if he gets booked against Wolves, he can't play against Liverpool anyway. So you might want to do that if that's the case. I'm not saying to do it, but it might be a bit of a helpful.
He might get a booking anyway.
Lloyd here says when we get all our players back and fit, who will be the strongest squad to play over the Christmas period?
It's a good question. It's a very good question because I think the case you can make is who is a good player, because Reedy would probably say shove Pereira back into the right back role over Justin when he comes back fit. I would say Pereira looks poor in the opening 8 games, that he played. And the reason why Justin was ahead of him was
I would have reasons.
Yeah, obviously, I would probably agree that you would play Pereira because, you've got to give Justin some competition and drop him and whatnot. But
and I'd say that under the Cooper system, Pereira didn't work as well in that role. Whereas under the more kind of possession-based football, I'd say that he'd work better in that role. I'm just saying I don't think he works as well in that.
This is not here nor there, because there's reasons why Pereira rarely played, and whether it's because Cooper didn't like him or
who would you say out of the two midfielders in Sumari and Winks, who would you say, if everyone was fully fit, would be in that starting 11?
I can't judge because neither of them have played enough games consistently. This is the issue. Again, that question of who's the best player is. I'll tell you who the best player is. It's no one, because none of them are performing well enough, apart from Hermanson, to get into the team consistently. You know, we don't actually have a fully good 11 team that I can consistently pick. Last year, we were picking the same team of minus one or two players consistently in the championship. This year, we're complete polar opposites almost every game. We're complete polar opposites to ourselves every week because we don't know. And when players get injured or they get suspensions, it's tough to pick the best team because we literally don't know the best team because we just don't have a best 11. None of them are gelling together like they should.
I'm not sure what people's opinions are on Alves because as much as, yes, he's a young player who could come in, I don't think he's up to the level. I think even if McAteer's not there, I don't think Alves will be anywhere near.
Totally... Even talks about McAteer again. He had a pretty poor game against Georgia.
Yeah, I don't see him being in our first 11.
I think the biggest issue with Alves is, and we've not...
Terence says, wow, Sam, cheer up.
Hey, I'm just being positive.
That's not positive. I'm saying your team.
Sorry, I'm being realistic. I'm being realistic about. I don't know the best 11. If you know the best 11 week in, week out, then by all means hop on and come and do this instead of me. But I ain't got a clue who the best 11 is because I've watched every game this season so far.
And
there's I can make a case for every player who deserves and doesn't deserve it.
Dorcas says bin Mabadidi off and go to up top. We have, from what Ruud said in his first conference, he said he likes to play the 4-4-2 system. People don't say this. People say they don't see it. But when you see them line up at the start of the game and how they progress, you do see Vardy up top with either Bonanotte or El Canus as that maybe false nine or just behind the striker role. So there is 4-4-2 there. And that's how he played against West Ham when El Canus was on the left-hand side on the left wing. So it works, but it just... people don't see it as well, but I wouldn't be opposed to putting both Daka and Vardy up top in the game.
Obviously, it would change stuff around. Something we've not seen. Like one of the things Rue did say is he's not going to play it the same every time.
No.
So, but then he did against Newcastle. You know, where there was injuries and plays out, and he did try and put players in the different positions to try and fit what was probably not the best starting 11. So. I don't know. Like I say, really, Ruud's only had 3 games. Wolves is a massive test. It's a massive 3 points. You know, we've got to go there and get something.
Yeah. Well, there are teams then, guys. There's Sam's and there's mine. We will again post it out and see what you guys think to who you thought has the better team and who's got a better chance in winning the game. Before we go, Sam, score prediction and first goal scorer, please.
I'm going to say 3-1. We're probably going to concede. You know, we don't keep a clean sheet at the moment. So 3-1, I think, is a good result again. Like with West Ham, obviously it was 3-1, but it wasn't comfortable. There was times where we got lucky to not concede, and I thought when we scored that first goal and then scored the second goal straight, when we got the second goal, obviously it was a lot more comfortable. So I think against Wolves, if we can calm the game down, we'll see which Wolves turn up. They're going to have no manager. They're missing some of their key players, so this is really time for.
Is there a possibility they could have a manager in time? Because I know with Ruud we couldn't have him because it was too late to process it to be in charge.
Potentially, but
I think that's tomorrow, isn't it? I think he needs to be announced by tomorrow.
Even then, it's not enough time to get tactics into place.
Terence here says 2-0 Leicester. Hopefully, mate, that'll be a nice clean sheet to end Christmas off with, isn't it? And then Sam says Sam's team is better. Jane says Sam's team is better. Oh, you deluded, mate. I'm joking. Right, guys. As again, like one last time, there's Sam's team and there's my team. Appreciate you all coming on. Catch us tonight for the Foxes Focus show to preview the Wolves game. And then catch Jamie's show again on Sunday for the pre-match of the Wolves game because it's before the game. And then make sure to check out Phil's show on Monday to post-match the game. There's a lot of pre-match and post-match this week because there's games every single day. And then you've got the Liverpool game on Boxing Day. There you go.
God, no one
Bloody
went to that one.
Philip, before we go, do we have a watch along for this weekend?
Yeah.
Wolves and Liverpool, we both have a watch along, so make sure you get into watching that as well. Appreciate you all coming on, guys, and we'll catch you all on the next show. See you in a bit, guys.